Welcome to Alyvix. This is an operations tutorial dealing with component actions, with a special focus on the more complex mouse actions such as hold, release, and scroll. In this tutorial, we'll look at the 6 mouse actions you can initiate when a component is recognized, allowing you to manipulate the desktop environment. We'll also look at where a click point will be set and how to change it. The first 3 actions we've used in other video tutorials are None, which is no action, Move, which moves the mouse to the designated point, and Click, which moves the mouse to that point and then clicks. Here we'll take a deeper look at the other 3 mouse actions. Hold, which clicks on an element of the interface without releasing the mouse. Release, where once an element is held, it releases it as a separate action. And Scroll, which vertically moves the container of the current object up or down. This tutorial will walk through an example for each of these 3 actions. Before demonstrating the various component actions, we'll need to prepare a suitable environment where we can move and grab things. Windows Explorer is suited to this because you need to pick up things like files and move them to other places. So let's start up Alyvix Editor and look at the various actions. As usual, we first need to capture the screen. Next, select the file image as the anchor, and also include its file name in case we want to select a particular file. The default action, None, obviously has no effect on the pointer. The Move action simply moves the pointer to the target point. But what is the target point? By default, it's the center of the on-screen component. You can change it by selecting Set Point. The Click action is like Move, except that it does click on whatever the pointer is hovering over. In addition to setting the click point, you can set whether it is the left or right mouse button, as well as whether it is a single, double, triple click, etc. A click action consists of both a hold and a release. Alyvix can separate the hold from the release if, for instance, you want to execute a drag and drop action. A hold in Windows Explorer will pick up a file system object without dropping it. In fact, if we run Alyvix with the hold action set, it will still be picked up when editor returns. Now let's capture the same screen again to see the release action. Select the folder to use it as the anchor. If we leave the default for the set point, we can assume that any held object will be released directly on top of this folder. So if we combine it with the hold action from before, then the file will be moved inside that folder. We could, of course, release it in a specific location relative to the anchor by changing the default point, or release it in a cardinal direction by a specific distance measured in pixels. Name the scripting node Release in Folder and drag it to the scripting panel. We'll run it after we look at the next and last component action. You can also scroll the container of an object or a point you have set relative to an object. For instance, if we look for a file system object within Windows Explorer, we can scroll the panel containing it. To demonstrate this, let's select a folder in the left side panel named Logs. We'll change the action to Scroll, then select the direction down and 3 units, where 1 unit is how much a mouse wheel would scroll. Rename the scrolling action node and drag it to the scripting panel. When we run our script, Alyvix will pick up the file using the hold action, drop it into the folder with the release action, then find the logs folder, which is in the left sub-panel, and scroll that panel down. Note that the scroll action interacts directly with the panel or container. You don't need to try to move the scroll bar itself. In this tutorial, we looked at the various mouse actions that can be associated with a recognized component: move, click, hold, release, and scroll, and we walk through an example for each action. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to get in touch with us.